welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the TNI YouTube channel with the whole crew. Oh, and the Twitch. Can't forget the Twitch. And wherever you folks get your podcast audio worldwide. I'm your host, J-Bone. We got Front Row Bill to the left and our own, very own knockout lady, Satan, Alisha, in the house. Oh my goodness. How long has it been since we've all been together?
I haven't been keeping count.
Weeks, J-Bone. Weeks.
It has.
But, and for all the TNI fam, it's been a week, 2 weeks since they've seen us because there was no show last week.
Right.
First time in some time.
Yeah, we had a best of show happening, and that was covering while the tapings were going on down in Nashville. So I was like, you know what? Everyone just take the week off. I was still getting better. Alisha was still getting better. Bill was down at the tapings. It's like, hey, everybody just chill and relax. So, Bill, how are the tapings down there at Skyway Studios? You haven't been down there in quite a while.
It's been a while. It's been, I guess, close to 2 years since the last time they were there. So it's been quite a bit. It was very familiar, obviously, going back again. Saw some familiar faces. Good to see some people. I know some people, who knows, maybe watching tonight that were down there. So if you are, feel free to chime in if you were down in Nashville. But I think what the episode of Explosion came out a few days ago, and I think that gave people an idea of what the crowd was going to be like for tonight. Because from the Explosion tape, and they saw they packed that place of reminiscent. They probably when they came back with crowds, pandemic era, and they really filled that building. I think the max they could get out of there was maybe about 200 people, and that was stuffing people in left and right. So probably just under that, but not by much. And you're talking midweek tapings, a Wednesday and a Thursday night. Last minute, couple days notice. So I thought the Nashville fans really came out, were loud. It was kind of funny. On the first day of the tapings, obviously people were there. They started, I believe the doors were at 6. They opened right about 6 wrestling time. Usually been on time lately. But the show wasn't scheduled to 7, advertised for Bell at 7. So it's getting to near 6:30. And half the arena's full because the way they did it, they put everybody kind of on one side, but then the other side was empty. So I was starting to get a little nervous there when it's getting close to 6:30. I'm like, where are the people? Are people are we gonna fill this place? Or are we gonna shoot from one side? And then all of a sudden, it's you blink, you miss it, and a whole crew of people start coming in, filling it up, and they were ready to go. It's they got there and they were ready. It was action, and they brought it. So.
Nice.
I think you saw it tonight. I think you'll be seeing it the next few weeks. Obviously, as now we're going to be doing all the shows up until Bound for Glory. So kudos. And once again, you saw it tonight. Obviously, all proceeds going towards the hurricane relief in South Carolina, where these tapings were supposed to occur. Obviously, that's where I was planning on going. Obviously, there was a few things where it got moved around a few times, but just power issues, because a lot of the there was obviously TNA talent in Spartanburg already. I know some fans had already been in Spartanburg already. So kudos obviously to everybody, and then kudos to TNA for making that decision to donate all the proceeds to everyone affected out there. So
very nice.
Obviously with the weather, we know we just saw Milton in Florida. At least on the positive side, it wasn't the worst prognostication that could have happened, but obviously still damaged, still people injured, and I know there's some fatalities too. So definitely, obviously, anybody out there, hopefully you're taking care of yourself and each other and getting through that. But we got wrestling here. We got wrestling. It got delayed, but it did happen. So just like everything else that takes our mind off things in the world when things happen, we got Impact tonight.
Yeah, very cool. And our hearts and prayers and well wishes go out to everyone affected from the Carolinas all the way down to Florida. Hope everyone stays safe, and hope those that were hit the worst within the last few weeks can really find a way out of this, because man, there's some towns down there that are just gone and people lost everything. I can't even I can't even imagine.
And I just know what like you hear today from a lot of the people, and it is the right thing. Like I know once the storm kind of heads out, a lot of people like might stop listening to what's being said about this stuff, but there is a lot of issues after storms. Be careful. Obviously, down power lines, standing water. Like avoid all these things. Like don't rush back into things. Take time. Make sure it's safe. Wait for the okay, good to go. Because the number of things that happen when people think everything's fine and it's really not. Like buildings can be unstable. There's all kinds of issues. So just be careful in the aftermath of these events.
Listen to your local community organizers, and we would definitely want to thank everyone who is here tonight, and
TNI fam.
Yeah, TNI fam.
Bringing it
back together. Definitely bringing it. Here we go. Bell's boy with the $20 tip says, greetings to you all. So Sol Ruca should come to TNA full time. She has so much talent. Her soul snatcher move is the best move I've ever seen in a long time. Nick is turning heel. I just feel it. Oh, bold statement there. And Masha means business. Big time. Yeah, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. And we got Dr. Gerbs here with a $10 tip. Welcome to the brethren with a new EU vegan formula. Austin Aries is coming soon. The hair oil. Oh, he's talking about the beard. The beard oil stuff. Yeah, represented by Hardcore Queen of Cats, Beards Pro Wrestling, Lindsay Snow. Oh, Lindsay Snow. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Gerbs. Much appreciated. That Soul Snatcher is something else. So shall we, we are on the road to Bound for Glory. Shall we talk some wrestling news? Some TNA news?
People have been waiting for it. Without J-Bone, there's been no jingle. So in lieu of the return of the Bone Man, the Bone Man cometh, so does the news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now the return of J-Bone's
searching for my fake wrestling news.
Courtney says she loves Nic Nemeth when he's a heel. I think you love Nic Nemeth no matter what.
24/7.
7 doesn't matter. All right. Some news from the world of TNA wrestling. First, we've got we got a few congratulations in line here. News came out during this past week. Hammerstone making some headlines here. Let me see if I can do a share screen of Rudy.
Ooh, share screen of Rudy.
I was going to get this all lined up. Here we go. Now, this might be presented a few different websites, but this is the first one I saw, so I just grabbed it from this one. So we got Hammerstone wins double first place in super heavyweight bodybuilding competition. Not bad, sir. Not bad. Chiseled out of stone. Seriously, I mean, look at this guy. He looks incredible. I used to follow some of the bodybuilding stuff like back in the day when it was kind of, popular right alongside
Arnold
wrestling like a long time ago. But because there was a time when a lot of wrestlers just they just looked like bodybuilders,
Oh, a lot of them were, yeah.
Yeah, and so these two go hand in hand. But yeah, congrats to Hammerstone making headlines here. Very cool, very cool. He definitely this kind of goes also hand in hand with what Jordynne Grace has done over the last few years.
Yes.
So few people from the company of TNA doing this. What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about this?
Well, he's got all the muscles, so
he's got a lot of muscles.
Good for him. So we got two winners, right? Is it for the same thing? Because Jordynne won the Arnold Classic, right?
Something like that.
I know she's won different competitions. I don't know if she won the Arnold Classic.
Look at me. I don't know shit about bodybuilding.
That's okay.
But I know she's won multiple tournaments. Like placed high in the multiple tournaments, but I will not pretend to be a body like J-Bone. I know there was Vincent came out with the remember there he had his own promotion, like he kind of tried to market it as like what was that? Sometime in the 90s, J-Bone, like early 90s, mid 90s, where he had like the World Bodybuilding Federation.
Late. It was right before all the steroid stuff came out. Yeah. So it was.
So I know like that was like kind of popular then, and then obviously I was young at the time, but like you heard the stories obviously of Arnold and all that. So always kind of like was out there, and then we know some crossover into the professional wrestling from the bodybuilding world over the years. And obviously what we saw with Jordynne Grace, but I think that regardless of anything, it just shows you commitment, like the regimen, these people have to be in to
it's intense.
These competitions. Like it is like, it's like you talk about like pro athletes that get into stuff like for game days and stuff like that. And building up to do things like to do something like this, like that's hardcore, man. Hardcore. So kudos, because that takes some discipline, dedication. So like that's a great mindset to know that you have somebody on the roster with that, because they're gonna be busting their ass. So once again, kudos to him. Kudos to him.
Oh, absolutely. And then something else I've got here. More congrats in line. We'll share this one too. All sorts of share screen-a-roonies tonight.
It's an interactive show.
It is.
Or a podcast, if you're listening.
Sharing all the goodies here. Here we go. People been asking, where are these two been? This is straight from the worldwide AAA Facebook page. TNA and Crazy Steve and Havoc become not all of TNA, but they're representing TNA. They became the new AAA mixed doubles champions.
And I do like that AAA highlighted TNA, like from TNA, because I know there's obviously been rumblings because Crazy Steve is not on, because the K is not on the roster page. So a lot of people are like, well, that people with the roster page, J-Bone. And I say, don't run with the roster page. I think people tend to run with that too much.
Oh, is he not on there?
Oh, I think that was a huge story in one of your news cycles, probably, J-Bone, not long ago. But I believe they made a big deal that the K was no longer on there a while back.
I blame it on
I think that's just because I think he was just in there with the K, and the K is not in a storyline, so therefore he's not on the site.
Go ahead, Alisha.
Never mind.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like a while ago we kind of figured out that they tend to remove people when they're not in active storyline.
Correct. That's what you can take from the roster.
Yeah.
Oh,
People take signings and non-signings. That's not how they use their website.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes they'll leave people on there if they're not on storylines for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think it's just a housekeeping issue. But I wouldn't usually run with much on the usually for the 90% of it is just current storylines, really.
I hope not. That would really chap my ass if they weren't really around.
Well, give up time. I mean,
no.
Now. Next
Absolutely
week.
Not.
Next week, right? Not even? No? Sooner?
Well,
Bring those belts.
Listen, we'll get to it because it's in a match, but what they're doing with Rosemary right now is just not working for me. It's usher Decay back in and let's get this fire lit, okay?
I hear you. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
We will. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Decay's still around. That's right.
There's some stuff that I talked about during the live reaction that I was very surprised about. So yeah, we'll get everyone's opinions on that, all that stuff. Anything else? All right. Well, we could talk about the updated.
Well, let's hit a few more news stories before we get into match announcements, J-Bone.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I do want to hit a few. Yeah, because there were a few things that did come up.
Okay.
One is that I think we knew it was official, but sometimes I know people like to get into, are people actually signed or just making appearances, handshake deals, all that. But Gail Kim did announce that our latest knockout is officially signed to a contract. And that is Lei Ying Lee is signed officially to TNA Wrestling. So very nice to hear. Another knockout on the roster. And cool. There was also, because I know it's a story out there that we've been keeping tabs on, but with obviously Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, Scott D'Amore's new venture, some trademarks came out the other day about some filings, and some of them are, shall we say, interesting if you're a TNA fan, because Team Canada, not surprising, would be go for a trademark, but if you're familiar with the Team Canada shirt, the TNA is they're trying to trademark that, which I don't think would hold up, obviously, with TNA. But it's just interesting that's going there. So, and obviously there was some more announcements. A lot of former TNA members of the D'Amore Anthem regime, like the Swingman, have been announced for the show. So, a lot of the old guild, shall we say, is making appearances there. But just something to keep an eye on. Because with stuff like that, you almost wonder, because it seemed like there was kind of a working agreement with, obviously, we know Josh is going there. But most of the other TNA members are not really currently active with it. I think just Jake Something is the only other like active roster member I'd really say is there currently.
Oh, it's for
that show.
Okay.
And he's very local too, but just something to keep in mind going forward. Things are not as chummy with the two companies at this point, like they may have started out being.
Is he from the Michigan area?
He's from the Michigan area, correct?
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
So I just don't know long term. Obviously, I don't know if they have any dates beyond that or if they'll announce them, but I just don't know how much of a TNA presence you may see or not. But something to keep an eye on.
Someone asked if Alisha.
Oh, yes. And Speedball. Yes, I forgot Speedball. Although Speedball is like the most indie appearance wrestler going on today, it feels like. He's at like every show. I don't know how he even does it. It feels like he's across the country almost on a nightly basis. But yes, and he is the other one. I think that, but thank you everyone for there, because I know there's a lot of talent announced for that show. The return of Bully Ray. Who would have thought?
Oh, wow.
Yay.
That's wild. Oh, Dr. Gerbs. Dr. Gerbs. Look, this guy is jumping up and down for this news because I guess.
Wait, doesn't he?
He's all about the Juggalo Championship Wrestling. So Ziggler doing, like, that's gotta, Dr. Gerbs, you gotta admit, that gives him a little bit of cred with you.
You'd think.
Showing up at JCW?
That's
Nic
gotta make
Nemeth?
the show. That's gotta make
Like
the
that
show.
gets you some street cred. I think Teddy Hart still has that belt somewhere, but it gets you street cred nonetheless.
He says never.
Never. Never.
Never, ever.
That's a combination I never saw coming, that's for sure. Dolph Ziggler or Nic Nemeth. Sorry, Nic Nemeth and the Juggalos and Juggalettes.
Whoop, whoop.
He's gonna do some stage diving when
Is he gonna get a Fago shower or get like spiked in the face with a cheerleader?
They're gonna have to initiate his ass, I think. Yeah,
it's like tradition.
Now, speaking of tradition,
oh.
how we went this far talking about juggalos and J-Bo not making some magnet comment is like, I'm worried about the man.
I don't get it.
Magnets.
You have to ask J-Bo. That was his shtick anytime Kyle would bring it up. Because Kyle was the scumbag himself. Was
well,
Mr. talking about the ICP.
We talked about ICP a lot when we were doing the Asylum reviews.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because they were down there a lot. And around the time that we were doing
we got this guy again.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. It was, I don't know, it was like one of their latest releases just before we were talking about it, or something about magnets was in one of their songs. Magnets, how do they work? One of the lines from their songs.
Yeah, there's Dr. Gerbs. Yeah,
I don't remember that line specifically, but I was a juggalette in my younger years, and I happily walked away when the last Joker's card flipped. So now I don't know what the fuck's going on, but you guys are having fun. It's all good.
You're able to walk away.
Still
there
going.
You go.
They're still going, and I don't.
See, John Wick,
and without a tattoo too. I got out of it without the Hatchet Man tattooed on me. So that's
a lot of people do.
That's willpower. It's willpower. I resisted the peer pressure.
I just never understood any of it. Like it's like
J-Bone, you just had to be there. That's all I gotta say is you just had to be there, and you had to play some Morton's List. And it's a long story from there, and I shan't get into it for legal purposes.
I shan't.
No problem. No problem. We'll
now,
save that for the after show. No, I'm just kidding.
I know you did the live reaction tonight.
Yes.
TNI Faithful.
First time in a while, yeah.
Did Mayor here is saying Nic Nemeth, TNI champion, as Hannafin called him on commentary. Do you recall this?
Someone brought it up, but it happened so fast at the start of the show. It probably
just sounded like it.
It probably just sounded like I'd have to play it.
Okay,
back.
I don't think it was a slip, but Tom's never chimed in. But if Tom's listening, fellow PA guy, Tom Hannafin, always welcome. The voice of TNA.
He is. Absolutely, I'll say it till he's not working there no more. He has absolutely been one of the best additions in the last few years to that company. He really adds a new level of, for lack of better words, I'll just say professionalism. I mean, you got companies where Joe Schmo's doing commentary you know, and it's like, yeah, whatever. You know, you're listening, but you're not really paying attention. Tom
You can tell
Hannafin
when you
is-
have somebody that's good.
yeah,
Like, and obviously Tom is very good.
He's very
because you're
professional.
right. Yeah, he's very professional. He's got the voice. He knows his stuff. And like I said, I think there's maybe a handful of really talented play-by-play guys out there. And then there's a lot that are so-so. There's kind of like a gimmick play-by-play style that's out there. But no. We're very lucky to have a very good commentary team, because for a TV show, that's huge. If you have bad commentary, that really affects the show. So having good commentary really helps the show. So kudos to the tandem.
Yeah. He and Raywald work very well together, and they play off each other still. Did you want to hit anything else before?
No, I think we're good. You can go those matches.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, we've got just over 2 weeks till Bound for Glory. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, as Tom Hanks says. If you know the movie, you know the movie. So we have, let's see, where do we start here? Here we go. We've got Mike Santana, and we'll get into the details during the review of how it went down, but we got Mike Santana versus Moose at Bound for Glory. That is, we saw this one coming for a while, and now it's finally official. Very cool. Very cool. We also have Jordynne Grace defending her TNA Knockouts, World Championship against Masha Slamovich. Now, we'll talk about this more during the review, but I did not see this one coming. I'm sure we'll all have some different opinions on this. I was surprised. And last but certainly not least, to add to the card is Full Metal Mayhem at Bound for Glory. You got the System defending the TNA World Tag Team Championships against the Hardys and former TNA Tag title holders, ABC. So, I had a feeling it was going to end up this way, but what do you guys think about the additions to this card?
It's building, J-Bone. It's building. Obviously, we saw just pieces of it, and then obviously the delay of not having a week of TV definitely put it a little bit of like, okay, where are we going? What's going to happen? But I think you saw some of this kind of building. But no, I think it's getting there. It's getting there, because I think people always look at Slammiversary and Bound for Glory and really judge the cards on those shows, at least on paper. Yeah. I think a lot of time these tend to surprise people, because really what pay-per-view or premium live event, TNA Plus special has not just knocked it out of the park. So, but looking pretty good on paper right now. It's building up right now.
It looks spectacular.
It does.
Spectacular.
One last thing I almost forgot to talk about. Thank you for Norris Sparks bringing us up.
Oh, so wait, hold on.
Oh, no.
Is that official? I don't think that's official, J-Bone.
That's official.
That is official. They put it out there.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't know.
Well, here, hang on.
Uh-oh.
I don't want you going spoilers.
Yeah, you get fact checked on live air, buddy.
I think you like to jump the gun, J-Bone.
I could have sworn.
Well, if it isn't official, it is now. Because the secret's out,
I don't
guys.
care where J-Bone's doing it. Critical Sting's got my back here. And if Critical Sting says it, I take that as a fact, Jack.
I can't remember. I saw
Way
it
to
on,
go,
you like that real time? You like that real time fact checking?
Sorry, it's a spoiler.
It doesn't spoil anything for me because I don't know who that is, but I'm sure it's exciting if everyone's getting lit about it.
He is spoiling everything for us. What? Really?
Oh, the chat is raining hellfire down your back right now. I'm surprised you don't feel
I
that.
say nothing, and I have nothing. I cannot confirm or deny anything.
All right.
You brought the smoke, buddy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say it, and if I catch hell for it later, whatever.
Wait, no, don't say anything, Jay.
No. Just
I did all this work to stop you.
We'll just forget it ever happened.
Nobody's coming.
We'll just tell your mom we ate it.
Nobody's coming.
Ooh, that's the real spoiler. There we go.
There's going to be nobody there at all.
Blacksmith tees.
What? I'm so out of the loop, bro. Who?
Now the blacksmith tees. And I know blacksmith is a friend of ours. No.
Oh,
That's the clothing gentleman.
Oh.
Yeah. But they're teasing
creative.
a TNA partnership, maybe TNA gear, it looks like, which is very intriguing. And if I know we have friends at Blacksmith, if they're watching this, as this gets closer, I'd love to have you back on to possibly discuss this because very intriguing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to hit them up. So, yeah, sorry. What I was going to say, I thought it was official, but I won't say nothing. So,
there you go.
My bad.
See, we are the spoiler-free podcast. Audio listeners,
I
got
quit.
your back.
Just kidding.
Well, I don't know if there's any Chuck Norris spoilers this far away from the show, but see what I did there? I don't know if I winked. I might have blinked.
Look at Justin. Bill's gonna mute J-Bone faster than Santos on Twitch.
Oh, he's on watch now. Is it? We've never really. Well, I guess. Yes. Sorry, I was responding to this.
There you go.
Like, well, maybe we try.
We try, and I thought it was official, so my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, you were looking at the website. I knew you were looking at the website, J-Bone. You tried to do your little. Oh, I'm skedaddling all around. I'm just gonna free flow here.
I'm skedaddling. J-Bone's skedaddling. Look out. What does that even mean? All right, so we will skip that last little bit, and it never happened. You didn't hear anything, and we'll just jump into the show. How about that?
There you go. Take a dip.
Okay. No, it's okay, Norris. It's okay. We try to keep spoiler free. I didn't know, so we're all learning here. So we're all learning on the fly.
J-Bone, you're a professional podcaster. Doing this a long time. I think you were doing these on Apple IIs. So
what? I've been podcasting since the days of Methuselah.
That's right.
We are talking about the 10-10-24 episode of TNA from this evening. We are
reminds
on
me
the
of a
road.
little storyline, J-Bone. 10, 10, 10.
Oh no, that's something else. He was on a different
Not the
show.
best. 10, 10, 10 was the best. Come on,
J-Bone. Wait, was that when Eric Bischoff and Hogan and Abyss and Jeff Hardy all went heel together?
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Jiminy
10,
Christmas. 10. They're here. All the signs. They're here. Wait, what? Who's they?
Who's they?
Who's they? What is happening? Brother? All right. We start out with some knockouts action here in this episode of TNA Impact. We got Rosemary. We got Wendy, Choo, and Tasha Steelz, flanked by Lish, still in the neck brace, against Masha Slamovich, Jordan Grace, and NXT's Sol Ruca.
Oh.
I was really looking forward to this one. But I'm going to go to Alisha first.
No,
No?
you're not. Nope.
She said no.
I said no.
I will go to Alisha second. How about that?
There you go.
That's what I get. That's what I get. All right, Bill.
Ladies first is sexist, just saying.
There we go. We're an equality here podcast. So we
just killing me.
We just go back. And
Gentlemen first.
Story of my life. Now, this match, I am a big fan. Big fan. I know it was said earlier, but the Sol Ruca definitely has an it factor for sure. Can go in the ring. I know people initially were talking about the whole TNA NXT partnership and who you getting, where's the names. I think we're now once again they're probably unless they're a current champion, people don't really care. But this is one of their featured players for sure at NXT. Maybe I don't know in all current storylines, but definitely over the course of the last year or so. So I think this is someone obviously we've seen with Jordynne on multiple shows now. So I think this is something where it doesn't feel like she's going to be done after this. Obviously, working well together. I thought after seeing this match that it was going to be a 3-way at Bound for Glory. I thought it might be Jordynne, Masha, Sol. So maybe that's still in play. Maybe that could happen. Or maybe she gets the winner of whoever comes out victorious at Bound for Glory. But I was very impressed. I think fits well as obviously in the Knockouts division. And I know I was talking about it for a while, but it just feels like that Wendy, Choo, Rosemary, they're going to be Knockouts tag team champions and carry that across brands. It makes too much sense.
Yeah, could be. Certainly could be.
But I think we need to see what Alisha thinks of this.
I was a little surprised we didn't see it, but yeah. Well, first of all, talk about the match, and then I want to hear. We're going to get into the whole Masha thing. We're going to kind of just blend stuff together. But
all right.
What did you think of the match?
I mean, it was a mix, what I often call a platypus mixed tag match. We already knew Jordynne was going to win. So, I mean, in that sense, it was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, but otherwise, I really like this Sol Ruca chick and, everyone else in the match, but I don't know. I don't get the Wendy Choo thing.
Okay, the gimmick?
It's the gimmick. It's a 32-year-old woman dressed like a child with dumb makeup, so I don't really get it. And of course, she's weird, so put her with Rosemary when she's got a completely better team already built in.
She's weird.
So yeah, sorry, I can't be more polite about the whole thing. I try to normally do my best, but I just feel like it wasn't giving, and the writers aren't giving to the women's division right now. And yeah, sorry.
That's all right. No, it's your opinion is your opinion. It's all
it is. Also, before we get into it, what the fuck does this mean?
I have no idea. I just read that myself.
Mir, sometimes I have to say to you, maybe just keep it as an inside thought. I know we try to be funny on here and kiki going, but sometimes they're inside thoughts.
Yeah, we're lost on that one. But all right. So with all this
Lish
stuff,
did rock a new neck brace tonight. So obviously she had the red one. Now she has a black one. So
yeah.
And she borrowed it from me.
No. I think she borrowed that from Andy Kaufman.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes more sense.
It was passed down. Or Bobby the Brain Heenan. It would be.
Or Bobby
better.
the Brain.
Yeah. That'd be even
A
more
classic
exciting.
wrestling trope.
Yes. We're here for it. I love a good neck brace. But okay, so with everything going on between NXT and the TNA Knockouts division with Rosemary and Wendy Choo, and they've been taking a lot. And I completely agree with your Knockouts tag concept there, Alisha. But something we've been talking about is I thought this was all going to lead because Wendy Choo faced Jordynne. I thought this was all going to lead to Rosemary because she's been the one. She's been up in the rafters.
Well, yeah, exactly. They put so much emphasis on her coming back as this new form, and what happened?
Right.
Like, and don't get me wrong, Wendy Choo's a good wrestler. I'm not trying to knock her on that. I'll never knock a wrestler based on talent because everybody can do a hell of a lot more than I can. But when it comes to gimmicks, I don't get it.
What did you see her gimmick before she turned heel?
It was that without makeup.
Right. It was
pajamas and sleep gear. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I don't like childish gimmicks for adult women. It seems slightly inappropriate. That's all I'm going to say.
I totally get you there. So with that being said, and all the stuff that we've been talking about for weeks before this, leading up to what we thought was going to be Rosemary versus Jordynne Grace at Bound for Glory. And like I said, I'm just going to mash all this stuff from the episode into this because it's all coming off of this anyways, because Jordynne Grace went to go look for Masha because
this was cool.
Apparently at the end of the match, there was a miscommunication and Masha was upset. Now I missed this, but I heard about it in the chat.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, well, that's the best way I can put it. So she wanted the tag. Jordynne got the tag to finish.
Jordynne's got to get the win.
And so Masha was upset about it. They were arguing a bit in the ring afterwards. So Ruca was like, "Hey, stop! Our team won. Let me raise your hands." And she, raised her hands. And
be
then
cool.
It was done. Yeah, be cool. We won. We'll just stop, right? And excuse me. So then later, like I said,
new girl, you just don't get it.
This is TNA.
There's some history going on there.
That's right.
Someone's getting stabbed.
Yeah, it's Masha. She's gonna get the light tubes.
Right.
I hope. Oh my god.
Jordynne's looking for Masha later to, clear this up or whatever her intentions were, and then calls her out. And Masha comes out, and there's this big. Okay, let me take 2 steps backwards. Jordynne walks in her room and finds
me and Gia.
Her and me, Gia Miller walk in the room and it's all dark lit and there's this big board with what did they call it? The kill wall.
Yeah, callback.
The classic. Yeah, it's a callback to when Masha first joined TNA and she was like, crossing out knockouts and putting them on the
former faces.
Especially with her gimmick with Killer Kelly. Like, I am shocked that anybody would forget that she is wild. Like, why wouldn't she? Just be, she's not even really faced other than by a technicality. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't
she? Turned on Lish, so that made her face.
Yeah. Oh,
because everyone.
Oh, I forgot. That's how it goes.
Lish.
Yeah. Tasha attacked her, so that kind of changed things. And then they had a brief thing with the Hardys a couple weeks ago, and it was like, "Oh my God,
and there was
Masha,
the Hardy
baby face. She's speaking English. She's with the Hardys."
She's just a big Hardy.
That was It's like she hung out with the Hardys and now she speaks English because she
now,
took
like
a,
Barry,
probably
just
swim
going
in the
with
lake
facts.
of.
Masha must have been carrying that board around for about 2 years.
Right. It's like one of those things you just quick fold it up and put it in your.
It was
your
in the back of her
bag and
car.
Take it from town to town. Right. Yeah. And so, but yeah, Jordynne found that and was like, "What the hell?" You know, like
I think, and Alisha has a friend here in Terrence Sullivan. I've heard him now make. I think he's made a few comments here about the knockout booking, convoluted booking 101.
Yeah. So
I'm glad I'm not alone. I thought I
You were
was
not
just being
alone.
a huge see you next Tuesday.
no, because like I said, let's talk about this. What are our thoughts on what we thought was going to be Rosemary, and all of a sudden now it's Masha.
It's the NXT crossover.
Yeah, that's what happened. I think it was
Like
Rosemary at one point.
it was, and like I say,
like 2 months
they
ago,
don't follow
3
through
months
on
ago.
shit.
I think it changed because
That
of that.
affected it.
Yeah, I think, but and I get it because Rosemary's a great ambassador to have, like, and I'm sure she wanted to do it too, like have that crossover with that crowd,
Yeah.
to be in both, and I know Gail had always made comments about Wendy Choo from her days on the Indies, wanting to bring her into TNA in a capacity, so it makes a lot of sense to have like two of like the names you wanted to work in both companies working together. But I think that was the Rosemary was the plan at one point because they were building her up for it felt like that run. Now it's still going to be a big run, possibly with even more appeal, but because in the end, I will say this: when Jordynne does drop the belt, not saying that Rosemary would have beaten her,
Yeah.
but if she were to beat her at Bound for Glory, Rosemary does not need the monumental rub that win's going to give whoever gets it. Now, if they want to make Masha the face of the knockouts division of this company post Jordynne, if that's going to be early next year, then maybe that is the way to go. Even though I'll say the booking, it kind of just fell into place. Like there wasn't a ton, like they have history that they're trying to bring back, but it's kind of like let's just call a Cliff Notes version of a storyline to get there. Hitting the buttons. Not that other companies don't do that. It's like, let's just go back to that feud from 2 years ago. But go ahead, Alisha. I know you.
Real quick, I'm glad they're going to be fighting each other, but I hate that they did the "I thought we were friends" gimmick.
Hey, and everybody loves the "I thought you were friends" gimmick.
I love befriending.
We're friends.
Honey badgers don't give a fuck. They don't got friends. Like that's what I mean when it's like I'm sorry to be ripping on the writers, man, but like that is so low effort. Oh, we don't know what to do with them. Well, let's have them kind of be friends, and then they'll be so distraught because they're not friends anymore. Like that is such a stereotypical women's fucking storyline that if I never see it again, it'll be too soon.
Well, and we saw it big time with the Rascals recently too. You know, that was big, but most of that happened over in NXT. So, but yeah,
which I don't watch, so I don't know what you're talking about. It didn't happen in my canon universe.
I got you.
Sorry. Despite the negativity, guys, I don't hate the NXT crossover. Like, this has probably been one of the best crossovers with another promotion that we've ever seen, unlike the other bigger people who came to our kegger, dumped our beer on our heads when they finished it off and called us losers. So, yeah, this has been great, but I just don't care for it. Like, I'm not going to watch NXT because of it. Sorry, guys. It's a little too young for me. I don't got time.
I'll agree that what I see is probably the problem here is due to what's been going on in the Knockouts division, it wasn't deep enough. to do much else. They kind of got stuck here in a position because of, like I said, they were pushing a Rosemary angle after Ash, and they changed it, and I get why they changed it. But your other option was to go to like a mystery opponent angle, which you can always fall into that. And I think people would eat that up because you'd have the, who from NXT? Is it finally going to be Natty Neidhart? Is it going to be somebody else? So you could have played that and done okay with it for sure. But we got to start getting into that realization that it might be getting close to time for Jordynne to drop the belt. If she's going to be in the Rumble and become full-time there's going to have to be a transition. And who does it go to? They didn't properly get that build. If it was going to be Masha, they needed to make that decision 6 months ago. And you could tell that wasn't 6 months ago. That was in the last couple of months.
A couple of weeks ago, last time I was on, that like it just seems like everybody else has been made unbelievable as a proper contender to Jordynne because of the lackluster writing. It's like, no one can beat Jordynne. No one can beat Jordynne. We love Jordynne. Don't get me wrong. This is not a knock towards her because she's the juggernaut. She's the shit. She's the best. You know what I mean? But like when you get so behind one person and just putting everybody to the wayside that nobody on your roster is a believable talent, that we have to rely on outsiders to come in and do it every time, it gets redundant and overkill. You know what I mean? And I feel like that, like, why have writers if they just keep recycling the same shit over and over again?
Yeah. The thing is, we'll never not see that in wrestling because it happens again and again. Yeah. With when you have 5-6 titles, storylines, there's a good chance one of those for a while is just going to be somebody steamrolling through a division. And because we've seen it, we've seen it in not too long ago history. We saw it for a while with Deanna, with Taya. Well, like the knockouts division has been kind of the title has had that. Same thing with the tag division at times, where there's just a team that runs rampant for long periods of time. We had it with the World Championship as well. Like the X division, the knockouts tag titles.
2 long title reigns.
They tend to move around often. But once again, I'm not going to say it just showed some areas where they need to beef up in. I think that's what it's kind of showing you. Like to make decisions on the fly, there's only you can't just go to 3 possible people that have been built up for that angle. There was really only one, and to make it make sense, you had to stretch it a little bit to make it make sense. And you're right. You go to some of those easy things like, put them in a tag match. They don't work well together. Build some animosity. And now let's really focus on the history for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want them to do that because I feel like it's been a while and I know it happened, but because, I absorb so much wrestling throughout the week. Next week comes
osmosis.
It's like it never happened. I couldn't tell you what the hell happened, unless it's like a big title change or something that sticks with me for a while. Terrence asks an interesting question here. He goes, question, is Masha staying long-term though? I haven't heard any buzz on anything as far as
nothing about her contract being up. So it feels like she's at least for a bit, longer than Jordynne. For sure.
Jordynne's been around a lot longer than Masha, so it only makes sense with the hype. She's on a meteor to notoriety. So it's understandable that Jordynne's on her way out. Masha is probably going to stick around. She's still got some experience to gain under her belt and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I mean, if they're gonna move it on and pass the torch, put it to Masha. You know what I mean? But then we have other people who are believable too. Tasha Steelz, Rosemary, Like even Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance.
Okay.
I keep wanting to call her Shara Dane, but that's a Game of Thrones character. Like, but yeah, so like there are believable people. It's like it's just for some reason they just don't want to give credibility to other people. Like it's kind of annoying.
And the newest knockout, late what did they give her for the name? Late King.
Huh?
Yeah,
Xylee's new name.
Yes, the former Xylee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She'll be interested.
Yeah.
They gotta just fill out the roster. We got like new heads, so that's very promising. Like,
yeah,
it might be a slow process, but you know, sorry, I just had to get my bitch. I've been going through a lot, guys.
No, this is why we love you on the show.
Jesus Christ!
You throw the opinion. You throw the opinion in here that we don't think you're going to throw, but it's still
pocket sands.
Well, they now I know months have gone by. It's been a while, so it's not as soon as you would like to see. But obviously, the hits from losing very in short order, Deanna and Trinity, who were focal points along with Jordynne of the knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
They still have to, and once again, there's people knocking out of the park in that division still, but it was very top heavy. They lose those names. Other than Jordynne, who just ran roughshod over everything, nobody else was really able to make waves as much. Only like really Lish and Masha as the tag champs. So I get pulling, and then they were building Rosemary back up. And then obviously you had Ash doing her thing. But other than that those were the contenders. That was the division pretty much. Other people starting to make waves, but that is.
Don't forget Hardcore Country.
Oh yeah. And slightly before that, like that's a lot to overcome.
But even in that sense, when all those people were still there, it was believable that more than one person could potentially take the belt.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. Is you're only as believable as your roster as you write your roster, right? And so write your roster a little more strong. I always say, throw in a fluke win here and there. So, oh my God, did they what? You know what I mean? Get questions going and then have them lose something the next week. There's nothing wrong with getting kind of like short and sweet with things.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should
build up. It's just a little bit of a deeper the main event in the knockouts division.
That's why they need to deepen up the roster, though. Yeah,
easier said than done.
That Heather Reckless is promising.
Yeah, you have Heather Reckless, but
I'm very excited to see what they do with her.
Lee will probably fall into that, but they still probably need to make a couple more signings or like a real another big push for someone on the roster. Like we kind of see Zaya Brookside on the outside. They've been slowly working her, but
she's not ready.
But it would be one of those things where a huge, like I'm not going to say a title victory, but a huge win over one of the top 3 members of the knockouts division. Like that's what, like, obviously you had Ash, but it would have to be kind of that number 2, whoever number 2's decided to be in the division. Or maybe if Jordynne loses the belt, she then beats Jordynne not long after. But something like that, like somebody newer to the roster needs to, like Jordynne's going to have to make a lot of people
and stuff like that. There's, you know what I mean? There's so many believable Jordy Threat. Like there's so many believable people.
Yeah,
and even Zaya, if you want to go Zaya Brookside, give her the fluke win, the one pot, and then lose it the next week. You know what I mean? Like just you.
Well, they can if they're not in a tag team, and this is also the negatives. Of bringing back the knockouts tag titles.
Yeah.
The complications.
You have multiple teams that are stuck in that storyline.
Yeah.
And not in singles action.
Kyle and King, I haven't heard anything.
And that hurt too. That hurt too. She was going to get a big push.
Yeah.
They told us.
And she was ready for that push because she had been working very hard for a few years to really ramp up her career. So
we should move on to the next.
Yes. No, it was an important discussion. I knew
it needed to be done. Yeah. I've been gone for a little bit, so
it's okay. It's all right. It's all good.
Had to get my.
So next we got Gia Miller backstage talking with Josh Alexander, and he's got Icarus and Williams. Yeah, I'm trying to get used to calling them by their names instead of Saint and Sinner because I just wasn't remembering who was who. But they are now flanked with Josh Alexander, and I missed it during this promo, but apparently we got the name of this group now.
Yeah.
It is the Northern Armory.
Timber.
Thoughts on this new name? Go ahead.
Josh Alexander thinks he's too cool for school, but I've got news for him, Walter Cronkite. He's not. Also, my husband says Josh Alexander should shut the fuck up and wrestle. Okay. He's talking too much. He's been too talkative. If that's what his heel gimmick is he's just going to talk us to death. Well, I guess he's winning.
Holy shit.
I think for me, it's coming from a place where I had high expectations. Like when I think about Jordynne potentially ever turning heel, I have high expectations on that being done. Right. And I'm disappointed. That is someone that's like a Chad you run into at a bar and you're just like, okay, cool guy. Watch your loafers. You know what I mean? Cool guy who drives a Cybertruck. I don't know. He gives the vibes.
He's standing in the corner and he's got his hanger-ons and they're like, yeah, we're with him. We're cool. We're tough.
That's what the other guys. Yeah, exactly. It's like the good hands always seem to find themselves as, hey, we're backing this guy now. This cool Canadian badass. Who only became a heel because he just kept punching people in the balls.
Icarus and Williams have now taken that.
Terrible. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. It's nature.
The Northern Armory.
Okay, I'm done. You guys go ahead.
Okay. It's okay. Bill, you're a big Team Canada guy. What do you think about this new name for this, what we thought was maybe going to become like the new Team Canada 2.0? No,
I get it, and I think I know people have said it, like without Scott, the Team Canada concept, you had to slightly adjust it. So I think that's a good adjustment. Okay. Justin here talking about Josh's promo skills on this. I think that is something to be said. Like when we started seeing this come together a few weeks ago, having Josh have his own group as a leader is something we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Because he was not the talker in the North. Right. So having him now have a group, I think that's another facet we can see from Josh. So I think it's a new way to kind of, especially now with the heel character that he's doing,
it certainly
add some layers to it, because as Alisha just said, like to make them heel, you go with and this is wrestling. Yeah, like you don't have you have some slow burn heel turns, but usually it's a one-off event or segment. Hey, some of the greatest ones were if they're very creative, but usually now they're nut shots, they're things of that nature, like some kind of one-off. Like I'm bad now.
I didn't win. I'm bad now.
What I need someone to put in the work of 3 weeks of a heel beard. That makes you a heel. Come on, man. It's wrestling 101. Just doing a nut shot here and there. Come on, but he already had a beard, so he had to shave it off and go clean to be a heel. He didn't do that. I need commitment from you, Josh.
He needs to grow his hair a certain way, and that'll really throw people off. Yeah, Justin's gonna fight you on this, Alisha. He said that was Josh's best promo.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
But maybe some Haas, Benjamin, Angles, stable vibe in a more serious role. But once again, like I think it's an interesting angle to take. Obviously, we knew they signed Sinner and Saint. A good way of once again connecting them with obviously one of the top guys in the company. That's going to help get them over, if anything.
Oh yeah.
So I see it, and it gets use of more of the roster, brings some other people involved. Once again, we'll see if it works. Does it grow from there? Pretty much how much they get involved, but I like it. I like it. I like where this one's going.
And they're countrymen, so
Yes,
they weren't just plucked from anywhere. They are countrymen. So
blame Canada.
Yep. Blame Canada. All right. Nic Nemeth promo. And he's talking about the number one contendership. It's now official. It's Joe Hendry, calls him out. And they have a little, I'll just call it love fest in the ring. There's some respect there. The first class comes out and ruins
First
it.
Class.
First class. Why not? It's got to be first class. When that turns into what's going to be the main event. But the big question here, and what Joe Hendry asks him is, what about your friend John Layfield, JBL, if you will?
Is this one of the only few references we've had during this whole stint? He's shown up twice, and we barely even got acknowledgement that he was here. It's almost never referenced.
He hasn't even shown up on TNA television.
He's not. No, he's not. I think that's intentional. Has not showed up, but they haven't even mentioned him really on TNA television, other than showing a couple highlights here and there from like recaps. And I know there was some hinting earlier about maybe that Nic Nemeth heel turn. This kind of hints a little bit like that. Because obviously, for the most part, super over babyface, but there's this undercurrent of JBL that makes it feel a little heelish somewhere. That could be what turns the heel card in for Nikki. Maybe take in some help from JBL when times get tough.
Brooding Texan from the Bermuda Triangle shows up and just absolutely devastates anyone he crosses paths with. Whether you love them or hate them, yeah. It does bear the question, what's up with that? So yeah, Joe Hendry's concerned. He has a right to be concerned. He's like, yeah, I'll face you one-on-one. I can't wait to do it, but tell your buddy to stay home.
Big John.
Yeah.
Vegas odds that he's at Bound for Glory.
Oh, I would say absolutely say so.
All right.
But I feel like it can't be just JBL. Something else has to happen. What? I don't know.
Okay.
Like, there's a bigger picture to this. It can't be just like the one. Like, what role does he play in this? Is he going to be the manager? We've seen JBL play manager to other people, and it's failed. I'm not saying JBL failed it. I'm just saying the whole process kind of failed. It's, if you know, I'm talking about Baron Corbin. Just the gimmick was just wacky. Anyways.
Well, that's not, yeah, you can't, you know what they say about chicken salad. So it's sometimes you can't work wonders if you don't have something to work with there.
Right. So we got to wait and see what happens with this. It's is Nic Nemeth, showing a darker side here with things coming down the road? We'll have to wait and see.
And where's his brother at?
Yeah.
Is he going to play a part in this?
He's busy acting. He's got the Hollywood bug. He's trying to
find actor.
Oh yeah. Big actor. Yeah, he's done some stuff, some independent stuff. But anyways, next we got Heather Reckless, and she is in the chair getting her hair teased some more. I'm not a hair guy by all means, but that was crazy. You're muted, Alisha.
She wasn't getting it teased. She was getting it combed out.
Oh,
she already has the tease.
Is that what it was? Like I said, I'm not a hair guy.
Beauty tip.
Fancy girls don't tease their hair, okay? And that's what Ash by Elegance is trying to claw her way into is a new little sidekick.
Teach her some elegance.
I didn't like the Botox part, the plastic surgery part, though. It's like, yeah, okay, let's encourage pillow face before we're ready. Sounds great, guys.
Botox.
Speaking of this kind of stuff, I like to occasionally bring up some new films I may have seen. But if you're into, it's very like, it's like body horror type in a way movie, which don't come around that often. But the new Demi Moore movie,
The Substance.
A Substance.
I heard it was good.
A wild ride
Really?
for people interested in kind of like a different movie. But it's there's going to be some people like, just know what you're getting into a little bit, like no spoilers, spoiler-free wrestling and movie podcast. But it's like, it definitely like, just be aware. It's not just like a typical movie. It's going to go some different avenues. And it's I consider it horror. I consider it horror.
Okay.
But not your typical horror.
It feels like it's got a sci-fi horror.
In a way. But like it's like it pushes boundaries. Like if you're a little squeamish, you might be tough for you.
Okay. So yeah, let's hope Heather Reckless is not taking that route.
And speaking of, we got someone down the middle.
Hey,
Daniel Spencer.
Always calling it down the middle, Mr. Spencer. How you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully you're staying safe with all the different travel changes with TNA and all.
He made it. He showed up.
Oh, he was there. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I loved it. They were yelling at Heather Reckless. There was all you saw was the back of her head, and they were just towering over her. What is this? A bicycle chain, or what is this? Silver? Fake silver? I'm surprised your neck isn't turning green. And then she had barbed wire, and oh my god, they were just going off on it. Poor Heather. But yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with her. We'll see. Mayor's calling them they're gonna be the Doublemint twins. Oh, come on.
Now
that's a hardcore 80s reference there.
I was about to say, like, our good friend, Critical Sting, likely has no idea what that reference is.
Right. Go look it up on the commercials have got to be on YouTube. Go look it up on there. You can have
Daniel Spencer. Look at this. All's good prayers for all the Florida peeps, including Penzer. And you know how him and Penzer go at it, so that's always good to hear.
I did see a post from Penzer. I saw that he's okay, and Penzer was offering his help to those around his community, which I thought was really nice. Very nice, yeah.
Man of the people, cummerbund of the people.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Penzer. All right, so next we got Josh Alexander versus Eric Young. Kind of knew what was going to happen here. Nonetheless, we're really looking forward to this match. We had the Northern. This is going to take a while to get used to, but I think in the long run, I think it'll be okay.
The Northern Lights. Sorry. Sorry, I'm distracted. It's like the big buzz right now. The Northern Armory.
That's right.
The Northern Armory showed up and absolutely just laid waste to Eric Young. Josh Alexander gets the win here. Continuing the stuff from earlier. Cool kid, Josh Alexander. What do you
Cool
what do you
kid.
think?
I missed this part, so sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just basically.
I think we're seeing it. We're seeing them work together,
Yeah.
utilizing them on the outside, distractions.
Yeah, it's definitely coming into play here. It's you could say this is, you know, it's official. You know, these guys are really becoming a force to
unit.
reckon with.
And we see that obviously both when they show Macklin backstage out.
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me.
And then they really go after and take the leg right out from under Eric Young. So I don't know. Is Eric Young out of commission going forward? It was pretty brutal at the end there.
Yeah, Macklin was he was zip tied and head stuck, what looked like stuck into a pallet. Not in good shape, unconscious.
Not in good shape at all.
So they really worked him over, which, you know, you're like, what, these guys took him off? Holy cow. Well,
That one guy's got bare feet.
The two Utes.
those Utes. Let me tell you about those Utes. But
For
yeah,
those feet?
and those feet. Apparently, Mike Bailey is not the only one with the feet.
You're gonna get toe infections. I'm sorry. I'm like convinced. It's like my word.
Only if they're not educated feet.
Yeah,
If they're educated feet, they're all good.
Dr. Scholl would have a field day.
Yeah. So we talked about this earlier. We kind of blended all the stuff from Jordynne Grace. She found she walked into the spooky room.
The spooky room.
It wasn't even that spooky. It's like, oh, Masha's got her kill wall up again, and Gia's all acting like she just saw Freddy Krueger. It's terrible. Like, and Jordan's like, I guess my friend. Sorry. I'm so annoyed. God, I can't even get words out. I'm so goddamn annoyed with this. I'm not mad at it, but I kind of am. Anyway.
Would it have been better? Let me ask you this, Alisha.
This is like Tommy Dreamer being like, Bubba, but Bully Ray would never. He's good now.
He never
He's
lied.
good now. You can trust him. Trust me. You can trust him.
How did that not work out?
I wonder. It's like snakes don't shed their skins to be kind. They shed their skins to be bigger snakes. Like what? Gee, I just don't understand why we would be like, wow, yeah, we're besties.
Not. All right. We got
that Kings Road guy would.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I gotta stop answering questions. I said the Kings Road wrestling guy.
Oh, okay.
Who got canceled.
Okay.
Because he's a pervert.
Another day, another canceled person wrestling.
God, wrestling. It's almost like it's not already filled with a bunch of fucking perverts.
I heard about that. That's so weird.
Well, you got handled. See, that's what you do when a mock rises in the community is you take it out.
Yes. Well, he was kicked out twice.
But yet there's a lot of people that should probably cancel themselves out of the wrestling community.
That's bro, I see what happens behind the curtain. Listen, I get invited to enough after parties and I have enough sense to not go to them.
Avoid the after party.
Yes, especially the after party.
Ooh.
I've seen a couple of those in my lifetime. It's
unless it's TNI After Dark.
Yes. Yeah, those
After dark though, it's 12:03. I'm ready for night nights.
It's already after dark.
It's dark. It's after dark. It's way past my bedtime.
we're going.
It's the Good Morning Show.
We're gonna move it along. Never mind that sun coming up. We got stuff to do. All right. Mike Santana cuts a promo in the ring and calls out Moose. We've seen this one coming for a while. And then we get the system jumping Moose. The system jumping Mike Santana, pardon me, and giving him the beatdown. And then the Hardys and ABC show up, which is perfect timing. So then it becomes official.
Santino makes it official.
Santino, he's got a busy night. My goodness. He's finally it was like the third time he comes out. He's like, man, how many times do I have to come out tonight? Which was absolutely hilarious.
Well, I actually have to work tonight. It's wild.
Right?
That's disgusting.
At least he hasn't been sending Gia to do his job.
Yeah.
And the scrotism of reason.
I
Did I say that right?
appreciate. Yeah, well, let's compare.
In the scrotissimus region.
Yeah, this is a dead ringer.
But I do appreciate because as opposed to I just talked to Santino in the back and he's making the match.
Yeah.
So there.
There you go.
Hey, that was just to let everybody know, as Moose said, that was top flight security. Top flight security.
Top flight.
Where are you going?
Top flight. I knew all those guys. No, not really.
No. I honestly did not know. I know a lot of people because sometimes some of the good hands that are working some of this stuff. Obviously, we know my long history with the Winker and Palmer. But actually, it was good to see there was actually work in the event. A group of wrestlers from the UK that were like kind of working like the like the entry and stuff like that. And one of them was part of the security. So always good to see like, hey, you come, you volunteer, you help, you get a shot, and got on TV.
Pretty cool.
So that's always cool to see in the business.
It is. All right. But yeah, so it's official. Like we mentioned earlier, Mike Santana versus Moose at Bound for Glory. No gimmick. Just kind of a long-standing grudge that's been brewing now for a while. So good to see.
Oh, here and Daniel Spencer, just to kind of add to that. Some of those guys and gals were on all OVW TV tonight too, so I will definitely have to check that out because
cool.
Like I said, I was not familiar. Like honestly, I don't know like a ton. I don't know if they just recently came over or if they've been over for a while and working some of the indies and stuff. But that's very cool that they're showing up on OVW too. So once again, very short notice. So kind of like the open up opportunities. I think that's great to see.
It is. It is great to see. A working relationship with Al Snow and the crew and TNA. Very cool. All right. Then it leads right into the match between the Hardys and ABC. This now this did not have number one contender things attached to it. This was just a match, but I figured this was going to lead to something like one of these teams or both of these teams, whatever, leading to facing the system and Bound for Glory. Go ahead, Alisha.
What's a Full Metal Mayhem? Can you remind me?
It's a table, ladders, and chairs match.
Oh. Okay.
all the metal underneath the ring. They just bring it
Get
all
it? Because it's the Hardy Boys? Those poor guys.
But it's a classic. Like obviously the Hardys are known for the TLC style match, But obviously, Full Metal Mayhem was very like Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn, TNA. Era
Right.
type
Well,
matches.
obviously they took it and gave it a new slab of paint. You know what I mean? Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But
They don't do them that often. They do them
my
like
heart
every
is with the Hardy
handful of
Boys
years.
because one day someone will appreciate them enough to be like, "Hey, you don't have to do that anymore. We like
Well,
you
yeah, this
you are."
like the build, like the Hardy build. Like it feels like we've been seeing a few things like the Hardy tag title run. The new Expedition of Gold is could be happening at Bound for Glory.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Facts.
Not a bad thing. They still got it. You know, they may not move quite as fast as they used to, but they still do all
And
the
here's
stuff.
the difference. Here's the difference is Daniel Spencer, who knows, maybe we'll be reffing that match. You can also win by pinfall or submission. TLC is always a ladder. You're right. The ladder is the most important thing in a TLC match.
Yes.
Because that does come in Full Metal Mayhem. There's multiple ways to win. And Justin Miller here, as he's saying, Monsters Ball and Full Metal Mayhem on the same night.
Oof.
Which is very cool. I like the throwback. So yeah, Detroit's getting hardcore, but not hardcore country.
Absolutely. They're getting all the work that night. So yeah. No contest because the system interferes.
Wait, who's doing the Monsters Ball?
That's
that's
Pico
and Mid Cardona.
Yeah. PCO.
Yeah, I got it.
Monsters Ball and
I'm
PCO.
just seeing the reactions here, buddy. Okay.
Well, Kill Steel says it because we're talking hardcore. Kill Steel, oops, wrong one. Says it here. In a cage.
Oh,
that will be something because I know that comes up every once in a while. It's been a long time like that since we've seen a cage match.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to see it here. But maybe Lockdown. I know it became like because Lockdown was supposed to happen, but sadly Lockdown got canceled when everybody got locked down.
Oh, yeah.
So it feels like it's like we don't even want to touch that again.
Yeah.
Someday.
But yeah, because I think if they go back,
it's too soon.
They'll go back to like whenever Lockdown does come back. That's when you'll see the next cage match, probably at this point.
There you go. Well, we're getting one more event after Bound for Glory. Right?
Well, you're getting Final Resolution.
Is that okay? That's right. Yeah, I was gonna say we're getting something. I couldn't remember what it was. Okay,
and that is what happened. Like it was just crazy that was the naming of the shows at the time.
Well, it's like when the Simpsons predict future events. This is kind of what happens.
TNA. We got to get TNA on
the affiliation.
Positive track, not the the negative track.
All right, so they announced Santino comes out.
And can't forget Turning Point at WrestleCade as well. That's a TNA Plus special. Yes.
Yeah. I thought there was a Turning Point in there somewhere.
Turning Point.
Yeah. Couple things. November, December, whatever.
TNA Plus. And if you don't have it yet, no excuses, because there's plenty of codes. If you just look at like the TNA timeline from today, I think there was at least 2 codes for a free month. EY gave one and TNA gave one. So there's a couple codes out there. So definitely utilize them.
Yeah, there's some specials. Yeah.
Get a free month.
All right. So Triple Threat at Bound for Glory, Full Metal Mayhem, ABC, Hardys, and the defending system for the TNA World Tag Team titles. Number 1 contender X Division title. Now, I was very confused by this for a short while. I thought this was for number 1 contendership to face off at Bound for Glory. No, this is for next week. So, which must mean we're going to get a special announcement within the next couple weeks for what's actually going to happen at Bound for Glory for the X Division. But we had Laredo Kid, Jason Hotch, and Leon Slater. So who is going to face Mike Bailey?
And an old school X Division, the 3-man qualifiers. But that goes all the way back to the origins of this division, having the multi-man, 3-man kind of contender matches.
Absolutely.
So this was cool, very cool. And because I always like to point it out, Critical Sting saying Hotch interrupting the ring announcer Grove. Like I said, I think every time, he hasn't done it a ton yet, but it feels like every time Hotch has gotten the opportunity to talk, I think he's done pretty good with it. Because I think it's no secret that I've been on the Hotch bandwagon early since his debut, from the getting the co-winner of the one and only gut check, and kind of from his first match, really be hey, he's showing some stuff here. I think we keep seeing that in matches, and obviously a nice thing here, but always getting that talking time, the promo. I think that's something that we need to see more of. So
where's the other
once
guy
again, where's the other guy bid? It was Skyler?
No, the other guy that won. Was it Jack something?
Oh yeah, there were co-winners. We haven't seen him in a bit.
Well, hopefully he's okay. I knew he's still on the roster page. Wink, wink.
Yeah, you in the roster page.
So yeah, but yeah. So what did you think of this? Do you like this?
Oh yeah. Come on, you got Laredo Kid, you got Hotch, and you got, I'll tell you, Leon, who's maybe the most athletic person on the roster. It's tough. Obviously for this one, I was rooting for Laredo. Because with the AAA partnership and all that, I want to see a good Laredo push. Leon, I think is going to get it, but I figured, he's real young, so they're going to take time with him. And I feel the Hotch big movement will be him and Skyler colliding, and then kind of getting a turn that way. Probably a face turn into a super over baby face. But hey, the jump for Leon Slater with this win now, and you saw the crowd, man. He wins crowds over. They might not know much about him, but just what he does in the ring, perfect X Division match. 3 guys just killing it.
He's in his finisher, the Swanton 450.
Oh yeah.
What looks like he's diving like Jeff Hardy, and then all of a sudden completes the turn. It's what? You start one move, finish with another. I've never seen that before. And if he's done that before, I must have missed it. But I was like, holy cow. But
the way he just casually goes over the ring post to do moves on the outside of the ring. You would see a very aerial acrobatic wrestler do that once, maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
He does it every match. It's just it's second nature to him. Not an easy move that he's making look very easy.
There's a few guys in the industry that do that on a fairly regular basis. Guys like oh gosh, what's his name from the WWE? He's one half of the he's married to
he's married
Belair.
He's married from the tag. I know the guy you're talking about. Yeah. But he doesn't. I don't think he does it that much.
No, but he's
from the
if
Street
anyone
Profits.
from the WWE, Street Profits. Thank you.
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford. Yeah, I was just as soon as I saw it, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, thank you, Montez Ford. Yeah, he does it. I've seen.
That must be more recently, because I saw quite a few of their early matches, and I never saw him do anything like that.
There's someone. tag team that's doing really well again in AEW.
I think I saw him stand on the top of a post and do like a thing out, but I didn't see him jump and clear.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did recently. It was nuts. But there's a few guys in the industry that do it, but yeah, Leon Slater, man, just he is something.
I don't recommend that. Like, I think most people you try that, you're gonna have a bad day. But
no, it's kind of like, you see Tommy Dreamer looking like he's gonna do a tope, and then he just kind of goes casually walks over the rope and then gives
that's a Sammy spot these days.
Yeah.
Sammy.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, no, you're not getting that.
Yeah, you ain't getting that. Come on, settle down.
All right, then what we talked about this earlier. Well, I should say Leon Slater won the match. Jordynne Grace calls out
He's
Masha.
getting a title shot.
We talked right next week. It's not for Bound for Glory. I just want to say that again because I was like, wait, what? Totally threw me off.
J-Bone confused.
Oh, that never happens. What? Me?
It's happened. Yeah, it's happened once or twice ever. Right?
The old
which one's Jay?
Confused? Exactly. J-Bo needs a
I do. You're rocking the Impact hat. You need to upgrade.
I do. It was like last year I got one from Trent when I saw him in Chicago. It's in the works.
Speaking of old hats, J-Bone. I got an oldie here.
You got one of the old classic ones that's got like the roughed up brim across the top with the old logo.
I
almost looks like a denim hat.
I do have a TNA actual hat somewhere, but it's not nearby right now. But this is from I think you might know the reference, but this was a 2016 angle hat, if you know what I mean.
Make Impact great again. Oh, EC3.
Yeah.
Right? When he was on the campaign trail?
On the campaign trail.
Yeah, the mug. You got the mug, right? Please.
Well, but that really wasn't. It was more like it was in the same time frame, but it wasn't really EC3's angle. It was just like an Impact angle at the time.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
back in the days of Pop TV, I believe.
Oof, Pop TV. Jeez,
hey, never badmouth Pop TV.
No, I just
that '70s show and Schitt's Creek. Come on,
you just remember all the different networks that they were on leading up to where they are now.
That's why we appreciate Access TV.
Right. Because not all of them were as cool as Spike.
Yeah. Well, Impact. Yeah, this is the Impact review. Arman, he's not wrong. It's still Impact, which is like it's always confusing though. I know people are always confused by it. It's TNA's the promotion, Impact's the show,
right?
Just like Raw, right. SmackDown. The show is Impact.
That's right.
At one time, the company was also called it though.
Yeah, right.
He said the name.
Bruce
that gets the bane of my existence. Ooh. But that is the era of Bruce Pritchard.
That was just Vince sending him in to demolish TNA.
Not wrong.
I've thought about that. I don't say that much, but
Destination America.
Right. Oh, dear God.
I like that say. Although that was good channel, but very tough to get on your cable. Like that was the premium tier. That's what I remember about Destination America. Like
there's
you
a
had
couple
to go
of those
top
that
tier.
was like that. Yeah.
Well, and Access honestly started that same way. That's why you got to get on the most affordable tier of cable possible. Is the way to go. Just to
and that's what we got right now. Yeah. But yeah, get on that TNA Plus. It's been absolutely mint. All right, main event time. Joe Hendry and Nic Nemeth versus First Class. Excuse me.
First Class.
First Class. No class. No. Casey Navarro and AJ Francis. I gotta say, I really did enjoy them in this show. The way they kind of went back and forth there for a while, kind of like, vibing with whatever. Good stuff. Good stuff. Casey Navarro has been, in a very short time that he's been with the company, has been great. A great pick to go with AJ Francis.
I'll tell you, AJ Francis, it's not just a gimmick. He is money. And like to get like put in an act with him, like everything worked right here. Like I think Casey was being looked at coming in probably regardless, but obviously with everything going on with Rich, him to just kind of fall into that and just kind of take the mantle and run with it, I think's been great, like a great addition. The First Class
really
to keep that going, because you don't want to see AJ's momentum slowed, and this was a good way to keep that going. I think they have a good dynamic. But yeah, this is it's good to see them getting kind of the main event match here. So because like I said, I'll tell you, I didn't know much about AJ coming in. Like I had heard the name, I knew he was in the group in WWE, but I didn't know much about him. Like I saw a few things on social media here or there, heard a few things, but I wasn't that familiar with him. So when they brought him in, I'm like, oh, all right, let's see. But he has impressed me beyond. Like great on the mic, very, I feel, underrated in the ring. Does great big man moves, like choke slam that's as good as anybody. Like I know people are saying it here. Like I think a lot of people, like I know he's the bad guy heel, but man, he's a bad guy heel that I like. He's got the cool bad guy heel vibes,
right?
But I know they signed him through the rest of the year. That's a guy you build around. You build around a guy like AJ Francis. Like I think the next couple years, like he could really make a mark in this promotion.
Right. And he had one of the most failed gimmicks in WWE, because like he was let go and brought back and let go again. And the second time he was brought back, he basically had the Brian Meyer gimmick. He and his crew just came into the ring, they'd shoot their mouth off, and then they'd get their ass kicked by whatever hot tag team they were promoting at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was no fault of his own. It was just he was just booked horribly, like never even given the chance. And commentary was horrible. I mean,
yeah, it sounds
horrible.
like some people probably knew, like, oh, there's a talent there, but they did not help him, obviously. But hey, it's Daniel Spencer says it was fire in NXT though, and that seemed to be the case with a lot of these guys and gals for a while. Was like NXT runs were fantastic because it was being operated totally differently, like kitty cats. It was totally different.
Well, and it was also different when Swerve was part of the group too. When Swerve left, it just fell apart.
They did not always make the transition to the main roster because there was not the support there.
Right. Oh, kitty.
It's Cupie.
Oh,
Cupie the cat.
Cupie. Saying hello. Kitties and podcasts, they just go together. All right. So, but what did you do? So, all right. So we've been giving a lot of love to First Class and all this. Now they didn't get this. Now they didn't get the win, of course. But I felt
they had to face Team Platypi, as Alisha would say.
Right.
The tag match of two people that don't like each other much.
Exactly. It's like, oh God, I wonder what's going to happen.
Well, they were certainly giving each other the love fest earlier. My goodness.
They were.
Do we have to fight each other? We love each other so much. We don't want to fight. We'll just share this title forever. Yay. No.
But
but yeah, this was a fun main event. It made sense for this to happen. It's like, it's the classic. Can Joe and Nick tag together? They actually used each other's finisher as a nod of, I don't know. Do you think it was a nod of respect? Was it a tip of the hat, or was it, hey, if you could do it?
I think it was a tip of the hat.
Okay.
I think it was a tip of the hat.
Okay.
It seemed all on the up and up.
Yeah.
No, like, oh, you accidentally bumped me type moments.
Yeah, they didn't have that. So, what'd you think, Alisha? Welcome back, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. It was a match.
I hear you.
Yeah, let me check my notes here.
Oh, notes.
Yes, I was kind of surprised. You know what? Joe Hendry still has a rocket attached to his shoes, so I'm not surprised they got the win on this.
Yeah.
But are you surprised that Nick got the pin? It looked like Joe wanted that pin, but then Nick got it.
Well, it seems like the theme of tonight is copying storylines. Didn't the same thing happen with Jordynne and Masha earlier?
In a way, well, yeah, but there was much more. It was a little more, I don't know, there seemed to be a little more friction in that match between the two for that. This one was more like, I got it. And he was like, oh okay. like you're the champion.
Begrudgingly. Yeah.
Joe,
it's still very similar.
Joe doesn't have a kill wall in his locker room, you know.
That we know of. Listen, I'm still in the party that Joe Hendry is secretly a heel and we're all getting played.
Oh.
Well, we joked about that when he first started. We're like, oh, he's a home wrecker. Look at this.
Look at it. He ruins people's lives.
He was causing havoc in hospitals. He was doing all kinds of stuff.
He was destroying
babies.
Relationships.
But
destroying families.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
And now, I believe. Now, is this like believe in Joe Hendry because he's awesome, or believe in him because he's like a mythical leprechaun being? Like, mythical. You know what I mean? Here to cause chaos with a smile, and we're so blindsided by the brightness of his teeth. He does the ping. You know what I mean?
You never know.
What's that thing from Napoleon Dynamite that kept getting drawn and shown? He's a liger. He's a liger.
Oh, a liger.
He is a liger.
Well, that answers everything. I have no more questions.
Uh-oh. Got David Penzer in the chat.
Penzer. I hope you're okay.
Hey, Jordynne and Tampa. Dear God. Life jacket, help a brother. David, we hope you're well. I saw your post on Facebook that you were willing to help others out there. We deeply appreciate it, and we hope you stay safe through all this. And whatever you do for your community, we love you for it. So
stay dry.
Yes.
Try
to stay dry.
Joke, of course. Sorry, I know might be inappropriate too soon, but
yeah. No, it's
he knows I mean well.
Oh, yeah.
But good timing to make it as we're finishing up the main event here of the show, which we saw obviously Nick get the win, but we know they have a date in Detroit.
Sounds romantic. I hope they get a deep dish pizza. Wait, that's Chicago. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, there's
Detroit style pizza.
Or at least Little Caesars.
Well, square pizza is Sicilian in every other state, so.
But it's a little different because it's more of a pan style square
Ooh,
pizza.
I'll take it. I love all pizza.
Like honestly, like if you've had now I know they have their cheap pizzas, but the traditional kind of pizza at Little Caesars was Detroit style pizza. Once again, it's a chain version, but it gives you an idea.
Yeah, I love their crazy bread.
Square pan. And get a coney while you're there.
Oh, what?
That's big.
Oh, no.
Not a coney dog like in like it's just
New York,
a dog with chili sauce, mustard.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say not a coney. I don't want that. That's gross.
So yeah, we are definitely on the road to Bound for Glory. We got
Detroit.
We got a bunch of new matches set up. The only thing that's missing is the talk of the Hall of Fame. So I don't know what they're doing for that.
Who could it be?
Yeah, I don't even know if they're doing one this year. I put my hat out there on Twitter earlier. Was it today or yesterday? TNA shared a clip of Monty Brown.
Yeah, that was Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett Kidney for sure.
I
know he's a big fan of the old school TNA and Monty Brown. Pounce. Period.
Yeah. Put the Pounce in the Hall of Fame. Period. And
he's a local guy to the area, so
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just kind of like an homage there, because you haven't heard of him for a long time. But that would be cool. That would be very cool. And then there's obviously a lot of other very deserving names and all. Put in the comments. Let us know who you think.
What do you want to see
in the TNA Hall of Fame? And maybe they will. So let us know, and maybe we'll discuss that next week when we're back for the weekly flagship TNA Impact review show. Yes. And who knows? There was no crossover this past Tuesday, but if there is some TNA crossover this coming Tuesday, you might see the TNI crew back to discuss. So stay tuned, everyone.
2 of us.
Oh, yeah. Just the 2 of us talking TNA NXT.
We're
there you go. There you go.
We're gonna drag in
Alisha.
No, Alisha. Which everybody's probably gonna be happy about anyway. I'm such a bitch.
Who's that? I don't get it. No, I'm just kidding.
Why's that woman got opinions? I'm kidding. Have a good night, guys.
It is awesome to have the crew back. It's been a bit. We're back. We're healthy, stronger than ever, on the road to Bound for Glory. Thank you for stopping in tonight and catching the TNI crew. Make sure you check out the description for all the social media sites and such, and go check out our lovely sponsor, Manscaped. Go to the website, get your discount of 20% off plus free shipping. You can't beat it. Best deal in podcasting right now. Much love, everyone. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week. Good night.